This is off the new Panorama album, and the song is called Panorama.
Listening to Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast. The Panorama's #1 source for news, reviews, and thoughts about the new wave rock legends, the Cars. Oh, and a little bit of Steel Wool, Sunshine, and Rainbows.
Welcome to Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast, episode 36. In this episode, we got Panorama for the Fanorama. I'm Dave. I'm wearing a headphone mic in case I get the motivation to dance. And joining me 2 hours in the past, it's Miss Sunshine and Rainbows, Donna.
Hey!
All right. So yeah, we're 2 hours apart, Donna.
Yes, we are.
You're in the past. You're in my past 2 hours.
I'm coming up right behind you.
Yeah.
You better look out.
No kidding. No kidding.
That way I
Right.
can go through and clean up all your messes.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a good idea. So let's get straight to the business so we can get our panorama for the Fanorama going.
All right.
All right, we got 3 ways to get your night thoughts: iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Look us up, follow or subscribe, and leave a review. And hey, we actually have three new reviews, Donna.
Hey, really?
Yeah,
Love it.
all of them 5-star.
Yay.
Got one from Flamin' Groovy, which I love that name.
Yeah.
And they're pretty lengthy. I won't read all of them, but it says, if you like the Cars, you need this podcast.
Aw.
That's from Andrea O.
Okay.
I know Andrea. The next one is from Roseanne 14.
Okay.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I like this one. I'm going to read this whole one.
Okay.
Just this January, I started getting heavily into the Cars. I liked a handful of their songs before, but I wasn't a mega fan until recent. Some months ago, I'd say February or March, I came across this YouTube channel called Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast, and it filled me with such joy that there is an entire podcast. We are #1 and the longest running. Entire podcast dedicated to this spectacular band. The first episode I listened to was the ever-popular Ocasek and Orr episode, and I've been hooked ever since. A podcast is only as good as its hosts, and Dave and Donna are 2 of the best hosts I've ever listened to. Notice she put my name first, by the way.
Alphabetical order.
Their constant enthusiasm about the band and the music, and their absolutely hysterical jokes and banter make this podcast so wonderful and so worth your time. I'm so happy I stumbled upon Night Thoughts all those months ago. Each episode, it keeps getting better and better. Don't you stop being just the best. All the love from possibly the youngest member of the Fanorama, Roseanne.
Oh, that was wonderful.
So Roseanne, welcome. I'm guessing Roseanne's like 8.
Maybe. That'd be pretty young.
And that's a hell of a review for an 8-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
She's ahead of the game.
She must be homeschooled.
Yeah. And then
Oh, that's so nice.
we have one from Seated Far Above, 5 stars. Says, let the good times roll with friends I've never met.
Aw.
That's this podcast in a nutshell.
Aw.
Says, they make me laugh. Donna has made me cry. Way to go, Donna.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Dave has made me laugh until I cried. Seriously, dry nights in white satin. Here's the important part. They make me talk at them during the podcast.
Oh, my gosh. That's a high compliment.
That's what you want in a podcast.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that just makes me so happy. Except I didn't mean to make anybody cry.
Well, Donna.
Tell me how I did it. I'll apologize.
You know what? I'm sure it's your Roy Thomas Baker impersonation.
Oh, stop
That is
that
Donna.
now. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
sticking with I'm sticking with my original Roy Thomas Baker impression.
Okay.
I just am. I'm sure that in his interview, he tried to talk all, he tried to make it more mainstream. But when he's relaxed, I know he resorts to this.
Okay, then it's your job to memorize at least a portion of the Roy Thomas Baker scenes
Yes,
in Turbocharge.
yes. You're gonna have to perform a suckectomy because that's what this requires.
Exactly. All right. So, hey, people can follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, bit.do/FB Night Thoughts. We're on Twitter at The Cars Podcast. And hey, some of you may like shipping. Tumblr's the place for that if you like shipping. Follow us on Tumblr at thecarspodcast.tumblr.com. As always, send us an email if you can type, nightthoughtspodcast@gmail.com, and get your podcast t-shirt, bit.do/nightthoughts merch.
Nice.
And hey, you know what some podcasts are doing now? They're doing this Patreon thing. Have you heard of this?
Yes. Oh, yes. I support a
Yeah.
podcast through that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I think we need to start a Patreon, and this is so you and I can be in the same room when we podcast. So let's look. We need a private Lear jet for either
studio.
you to come my way, yeah, or me your way, and then a studio with all the setup, whatever. So we're probably looking at, I'm going to say hundreds of thousands of dollars that
Perfect.
we would need. So, hey, I think we should start a Patreon for that. People have, started them for worse ideas than this.
Well, you get right on that, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, either that or we need a sponsor. We need bigger and better sponsors. So I
There
don't know.
you go. That's what Rhino's about to come through. I just know it.
I think they are.
I think they are.
I think they are. I think they're going to come right through.
I think so.
All right.
Them in the Rock Hall, they'll pair up.
Ah, that's right. That should work.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Right. So any news? Any new news on Orbook? Any Orbook updates?
No, just under deadlines right now to get those proofs back. So, I just feel like I've hardly been present anywhere on Facebook or Twitter. Just between that, the book stuff and the kids and everything, it's just been super busy. So that's what we're looking at right now, and then we'll go on to the next step.
So when you're proofing a book, you're going through it page by page and making sure there aren't any typos and things like that?
Yes, it's supposed to have already been copy edited by the publisher. So, typos aren't quite so much. It's just maybe fact checking again, reading for content. And then, I guess I am marking a lot of typos, or, you need an end quotation mark here, a little bit of formatting, photo captions, make sure the timeline is correct, a lot of verification.
So you're kind of like a creative writing teacher with the theme essay from hell that you have to go through with a little red pen.
I have my little red pen, yes. But the hard thing actually is that I love this book so much that I'll forget. I was telling my daughter this. I'll forget that I'm supposed to be reading it with certain eyes, because I'll just get into the story or get into thinking about Ben and forget that I'm working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's actually a good thing, in the sense that the book, I love the book so much that it can do that to me. But it does slow me down a little bit. So.
Yeah. So we're in August already. So they got September, October, and then that early November release.
Yes.
So yeah, it's ticking down.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be off my desk this weekend. Or I'll get through it this weekend and get it. And Joe's doing it too. We're both doing it together and comparing. And
Did you guys split it up? Or are you
Nope.
both doing the whole thing and then saying, I found this, did you find this, that kind of thing?
Well, because there are things that we need to talk about together. I have a bunch of stuff marked of, stuff to just confer about. So yeah, we're both doing it, two sets of eyes.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Sounds like a daunting project. So,
It is, but it's
um,
awesome. I love it. I'm thrilled to be involved.
well, in other news, people, we are actively promoting David Juskow's Turbocharge, the unauthorized
Yes.
story of the cars.
Yes.
Um, and we know you want to see this movie. People want to see this movie. How are we going to get it released? By showing interest
Yes.
in the movie. So, how do we do that? We've made the Turbocharge Facebook page a happening place. So you people need to go to that Turbocharge page. God, I can't talk today. At fb.me /Turbocharge the movie and like that son of a bitch. We've got lots of people coming in and viewing it, but they're not liking it.
Okay.
And what's not to like? Hey. And I've got this giveaway going on. I went through and did some summer cleaning before school starts, and I found some of these radio shows that I had, and I said, well, I've got those on my iTunes. I've ripped them in there, and so do I really need these? No. So I decided I'm gonna give these away, and all you folks need to do is like, share, invite folks to the Turbocharge page. When we get up to 500 likes, I'm going to give one show away. We get up to 750 likes, I'm giving another show away. We get up to 1K, I'm giving the last show away. And then the biggie, at 1.5K followers, which isn't a lot, because a lot of these pages we have out there on Facebook have 3,500. Some of them have 15,000. For God's sake, it's not that hard. But you get up to 1.5, I'm giving away my vintage, looking very shoddy and worn Cars hat. And I know there's collectors out there who are drooling over this thing.
Nice.
I don't wear it. I've never worn it. It's just a hat. I don't need it. So hey, I want to give it away to somebody. So let's get going on those likes. And it's all about sharing and inviting.
Yes.
So we're hoping that other Facebook pages about the cars and Rick Ocasek and all the other individual members join in and help promote this and show that we want to see this film released.
Nice. I had a weird, how when you're getting ready to wake up and you're kind of dreaming, but you're kind of, you're getting ready to wake up somehow. Is this that weird transitional phase?
I feel that way all the time.
That's your life. I had this weird.
I feel that way right now.
Oh, great. That'll be fun. I had this weird little dream that somebody from the group, so I don't really know very well, but messaged me and said that Rachel Feinstein said yes, she would be on the podcast. Now she's the actress who plays Joshua, right?
Yes.
And it was just the weirdest thing. I woke up going, did that really happen? Checking Messenger, is she going to be on our podcast? That'd be so awesome. Oh no, it was just a dream. Dang.
Just a dream.
Just a dream.
Just a dream.
Oh, okay. Rats. So anyway.
All right. So hey, Panorama, Donna, I've got my original LP.
Yes.
And like I told you earlier, I was having flashbacks pulling this out and looking at it. But you know what? When I pull this LP out, do you know what I smell?
Chlorine?
No, chlorine. First of all, it was a rhetorical question. And secondly, shut the hell up.
You have a nose for news?
No. What I smell is shit.
Tell the boys. What is it? Hit song or
catchy tunes
and sexy album covers. Okay,
right.
I'll tell them.
All right.
I have to watch that movie again today. Turbocharge is the best.
Yep. That's why we need those likes. All right. So do you want to start with your usual factoids about the album, when it came out, and so forth?
I do. I do. The anniversary is actually coming up. It was released on August 15th.
Oh yeah, that's next week.
Yeah, 1980. This album came out. Of course, it was produced by Roy Thomas Baker, their third album. And it went to number 5 on the Billboard Pop Albums chart, in spite of the fact that critics were freaking out, thinking that it was so dark. And I'm sure we'll talk about that part of it. They released 3 singles off of this album. Touch and Go was the first single. It went to number 37. Don't Tell Me No and Give Me Some Slack were also released but did not chart. They started out, so they recorded their debut album in London. They recorded Candy-O at Cherokee Studios, and they started out recording this album at Power Station in New York. And according to the liner notes from the recently released expanded edition, Greg said that they started recording at Power Station and for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then somehow Roy Thomas Baker was not happy about how it was going, I guess. So they packed up everything and went back to Cherokee, where they recorded Candy-O, and recorded it there. Which when they did the expanded edition, we talked about how they did not put any, I would love to have heard some demos or early recordings of some of these songs. I want to know what happened to the Power Station recordings.
Yeah. Or even the Cherokee monitor mixes that they had probably got stolen.
Yeah, we're waiting for those to show up on eBay.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is one of my super intriguing, like, where are those early recordings? Come on, somebody's got them. They do.
Rick's Vault.
Oh, Rick, please, come on.
Yeah. Get us going on that, Rick.
Come on, throw me a bone, dude. Come on.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's kind of an interesting thing about that. All these songs are all new, where we talked about the debut album, and then Candy-O had some songs from earlier. There's sort of like a whole batch of songs that they had for those first 2 albums. Well, these were all newly written songs. And then, like I mentioned, this album definitely has a different tone to it than the others. The photography is by Paul McAlpine, who rocks.
Yes, he does.
Big time. And the album art, the flag, of course, we understand was painted by Mr. David Robinson.
I think Dante's the one who figured that out, right?
I remember talking to Dante about it. Did he? Was he the one that told us that? I don't know.
It was Dante. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he posted about it. And plus, we have to mention Dante every podcast.
We do. I'm actually going to quote Dante a little bit later. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, while we're at it, let's plug Dante. Dante's Desecration is out on Blu-ray.
Yes.
You can get it where all fine scare the shit out of you movies are sold.
Yes. Target, Amazon, Best Buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I've never watched it. I'm a little
I still haven't watched the one he sent me before.
I'm not. It looks scary.
I'm sorry, Dante. I'm a wuss when it comes to the demonic stuff. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. But his music is great. I dig Dante's music for sure. Definitely.
Well, I know our listeners love my memories, since I'm the old guy. When Panorama came out, they did release Touch and Go as a single before the actual album came out. And at that point in time, I was just going into my senior year in high school. Little Davy was working in a cafeteria in a hospital. And the cooks always had a radio going. And I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like, hey, there's a new song by the Cars on here. And that's when I first heard it, was, by the Cook station.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, yeah, okay. And then of course the album came out, and somewhere within, I'll say probably it had to be in September because school had started already. I'm not sure if I told this story before or not, but I was dating this girl, and she had a crazy ex-boyfriend, and her crazy ex-boyfriend was already 18, 19 or whatever. And he was out to get me. All right.
Okay.
He was out to kick my ass. Now, it's one of those things where you look back in time as an adult, as a grown man, you think, what the hell was I so scared of? I could have taken that asshole. I could have taken him. I realize that now, but he was very intimidating to me. And so, I would go over to her house, and I had my cool baby poop yellow Pontiac Ventura, and we would sit on the hood, and I'd play music and run my battery down,
Nice.
and I was playing Panorama, and I mean it was like late at night, like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and boom, he shows up on a bike. That's what the movie was.
On a bike.
On a fucking bike, and it's one of those deals where it's like, oh crap, and then it's like he comes up and he hears Panorama, and he's like, oh, you like the Cars? Like, yeah, I like the Cars. And we start this conversation about the Cars, and it's like all this tension went away. It's like he forgot he was coming over to try and kick my ass. And eventually my girlfriend went inside, and we're still outside talking Cars, which I'm sure was very uncomfortable for her, that this crazy ex-boyfriend and her current boyfriend are outside, sitting around his car talking about Panorama. Yeah. So, hey,
wow.
Cars saved my life.
Panorama makes peace.
Panorama makes peace. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
No kidding. All right.
Wow. Close one. Thanks, Rick. Whew.
Yeah. Thank you, Rick Ocasek.
That's right. Very nice.
All right. So let's delve into it. And what I'm going to try and do is play the songs kind of in the background as we talk about each song.
Yeah, hang on. We got to be consistent here. You know how I am. Now we got to talk about the album art.
Yeah.
Let's look at the cover and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Sure. I got it right in front of me right here. I thought the album cover was awesome.
Yeah.
Always have, still do.
Yes.
Very cool. The back just blew me away. Although it always bothered me that Greg and David were holding guitars.
Not supposed to do that.
But they did take pictures,
Yes.
with like Greg holding holding a synthesizer and.
Yes. But then they decided to go with the all guitar look. Which is interesting.
They should have David holding a gong, one of those big Chinese gongs.
That would have been awesome. That's been very cool. No, you see he's wearing
a couple chicken drumsticks.
Oh my gosh. And you see he's wearing that sweater that's on display at the Rock Hall right now.
Yes.
That checkered sweater, which is awesome. And Greg is holding his Ovation Breadwinner guitar, which is weird, I guess, in the guitar world.
Yeah.
I actually found an article about that online at one point, and the person had cited because they were like comparing all these like odd guitars, or talking about all these odd guitars and that famous people have played, and they only had like, I don't even think they had an example of a famous person, somebody playing the Ovation Breadwinner. But so anyway, of course I responded to the article and said, well, did you know Greg Hawkes played that in this, and of course made a link to the video and stuff, and I never heard back. Oh well.
Yeah, and the shadows, I always assumed that those were, added in, but as we know now from seeing behind the scene pictures that Paul McAlpine has posted, that it was them standing in front of a white screen and having the lighting so they would actually get the shadow. And I'm sure they enhanced the shadows for the album cover, but
That blows me away.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking cool.
Very, very cool. Well, and as you know, I mean, it's no secret. Panorama is my favorite album. This whole Panorama look is my favorite thing. I'm wearing my Panorama shoes right now that I love so much. Trying with all my might not to bring up the turntable cover. Which...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. Make sure your buddy from Rhino gets me one of those.
All right, you got it.
Um, and yeah, the flag is very cool. My last year, not this birthday I just had, but the one before, my husband, you remember, painted me the Panorama flag on a
Yes.
canvas, which was awesome. And then you got those photos, the photos on the sleeve, I think came on the sleeve in the album, right?
Yes.
Individual ones with Greg in his Keys sweater and
Benjamin wearing some kind of God, I don't even know how to explain it.
it's like Japanese dragons or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, and this is the only album that they toured in Japan for, right? So to
Yes.
me, this album is always associated with Japan. Um, Elliot's jacket with that fringe is kind of interesting.
And I always wondered as a kid what made their decision to wear sunglasses or not. You got Rick and Elliot sporting the sunglasses, everybody else not. Of course,
Yeah.
Greg, he had glasses anyway, but
Well,
he
but,
could have had transitions.
or yeah, he could have had prescription sunglasses.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Greg wear sunglasses before.
Yes. But that was always a thing with Rick Ocasek wearing sunglasses. People kind of freaked out when they would see pictures of Rick without sunglasses.
He has eyes.
Yeah. Oh my God, he does have eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay.
Yeah, I love this album. And like I said, I was just having flashbacks pulling it out and the color scheme and the blue and
Yeah.
everything. Just it just has that feel to me, and it just kind of takes me back to all those times in my life, surrounding this album.
Yeah, yeah. And of course they move away from the red and black. I mean, now it's the blue. And even on their tour and stuff, they were just black and white, a lot of black and white for this. So no more red. And like we were just quoting from the Turbocharge movie, no sexy album cover on this one.
Holtzman was not happy.
No, he was not. So yeah, love it.
All right, so as I was saying, I'm going to be playing in the background, and I tried doing this on our last album dissection with Candy-O, and then I'd forget to play a song as we were talking about it. But by golly, I'm determined to do it.
Okay.
So let's kick it off with the opening track,
Yes.
Panorama,
Okay.
and just kind of go from there.
Okay. Nice.
You can hear that?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, now here's the very first thing that I noticed. Okay, hang on, let's see. It's the count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It goes like 8, then 9, 8, then 9, the beat count.
See, I don't get into things that much, and
Well,
I that's probably where we differ. I go for the I guess I revert back to my teenager self and what my immediate reactions were to these songs.
yeah.
And when I first heard this, with that beat and those guitars coming in, I was just thinking, whoa, this is interesting. This
Yeah.
is what new wave was to me. This was sticking it to the man. Okay. And
Okay.
I felt like they were stepping it up a notch to keep all the imitators that had started to come out, kind of in their place.
Nice. I never
But,
thought
I
about
mean,
that.
what a menacing song.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see, okay, we've already kind of started talking about how the critics, call this a dark album. They were kind of really down on it. And I think one of the headlines was, the cars run out of gas. And it just really got a crummy reception. But it's so good. And it's definitely a different tone. And I think we've talked about this before. It's just so much more attitude.
Yeah. And as I've said before, I can remember reading that Rolling Stone review before the album came out,
Hmm.
and as when I listened to the album, I was like, they're full of shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not pop. You know, I think we talked about this once before, and I'm just going to kind of quickly illustrate it again. The idea that, if you look at a letter Y, a capital letter Y, and the bottom being where they started with the debut album, then they move up the leg of the Y with Candy O, real similar sound, and then they veer off to the left with Panorama
Yeah.
and take this, go this different route. It's definitely not pop. It's definitely not designed to appeal to the masses.
Hmm.
And they were very upfront about that in their interviews about this album. They didn't care. They weren't trying to be top 40 or get on the charts. They were being innovative. They were being creative. They were following their their interests, the technology. They were doing what they wanted to do,
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
for sure. And as I said, this is what cemented in with me with this band that, hey, these guys are something different. This is something that no one else is listening to, although
Right.
they should be. Yeah, so I loved it.
Yeah. Now this song is the first where they get into like a 5 minute long. They go over the 5 minute mark in their songs because all the other ones before this are shorter. So this album actually has a couple of songs that are longer. They stretch out a little bit, which is nice.
5:45.
Yep, almost six then. Um, so I love that. Very techno, very electronic. Um, oh, I was going to say with that beat count, I don't usually notice stuff like that unless it's off because I think it's because I am not musical, so I always have to like count to like make sure I'm staying on track. And so it's like I noticed that extra beat in the second thing. It always just sort of throws me off. It's very interesting. It's very cool and just a little different. It's edgy.
And did they do this song in concert?
Yes, I believe so. In fact, I know they did because I there's an audio of one of their shows in Japan, I think, and Benjamin introduces it by saying, "This is a song off our newest album." Let's see. And the name of the song is Panorama or something. Now I
Panor-
see, now I can't remember it. I'll pull it up.
Panorama, yeah.
Love it. Um, and of course, lyrics are great. This whole album lyrically is amazing. But I think my favorite line in this song is when he says, "I'm pulling my flag up." It's another one of
Yeah.
those perfect lines that pack so much meaning into just a few words, you know? Are you dancing?
I got the motivation to dance.
Are you doing the spasticocastic?
Yeah, I'm doing this spasticocastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
Now, do you think David is actually really playing those cymbals? You know when it gets
Very
all
fast like
fast and,
that.
huh?
I don't necessarily think that. I don't know. I think he's a great drummer,
That's
um,
that's a
and
long
could
time
have
to,
pulled that off. But that's one of the parts of this song that I really liked when it gets into that.
yeah.
It just goes. I mean, you start out with this song, and it's like, man, this is really moving fast and so forth, and they bump it up a notch at the end,
Hmm.
and those cymbals are a part of that.
Yeah, it really escalates.
Things are just going crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I always wonder if he's sitting there just in the zone, hammering on those cymbals, because
He's thinking about, oh, what a hell of a time I'm going to have playing the drum beat for Touch and Go. That's he's just warming up for that.
yeah.
All right, so let's just go into Touch and Go.
Oh, yep, that sounds good.
Let me see here.
You know that John Lennon mentioned this song in his final interview?
Really?
Yes, he did. Um, I'll have to, in fact, I'm gonna make a note to post the audio of that. December 8th, 1980, hours before he passed away, actually. He did like a 2-hour long interview, and he was talking about the sound, and he actually mentioned Touch and Go as having this sort of 50s-ish sound, and he compared it to one of his own songs. I mean, it was a favorable mention. But yeah, he mentioned it by name.
Yeah, the keys on this are what make this song for me. And then, of course, Elliot's solo, which should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on its own.
Yes.
Just incredible. I remember someone posting a long time ago about how they got into the Cars was they were in study hall in school, and somebody was playing this song in the parking lot. And
Nice.
they heard it.
Nice. Now, you mentioned Elliot's solo. Do you remember hearing the story that solo almost didn't make it onto the song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Elliot cried. I think he cried in the fetal position to get it.
Well, I don't remember exactly those details.
Well, he's not going to openly admit that he broke down in the fetal position and had a tantrum.
Come now, EE. It's not worth all that.
But yeah, I'm glad that he did. I'm glad he stood his ground.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, what else they came up with for this. That's why it'd be very interesting to hear an early version of this song.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I totally agree. That bass. That bass. Now, see, this is the song on this album, Dave, that has the country feel. Remember I told you every album has a country song on it?
Yeah.
Doom, da, doom, da, doom, da,
Yeah.
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 It's definitely on here.
Rawhide.
Exactly. Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then, of course, because I actually wrote an article about this song for my blog. I don't know if you know I have a blog about it, but I do. And there are a couple songs that have been compared to this that they feel like that critics felt like were influenced by this song, that they were emulating it. One of them was by The Police. Let's see, I'm pulling it up here. Spirits in the Material World, I think is what it's called. And then I think a Tom Petty song, maybe.
Yes, you got lucky.
Yes. So just that, with that offbeat.
Yeah, and the keys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, the keys. That's right.
Lots of inspiration there. And I must say, I'm still very kind of disappointed they didn't play Touch and Go at the Rock Hall induction.
Yeah.
But who knows what factors
That would have been a good one.
went into that. But I think that was the one to do.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I know. Remember when we talked to Greg? I wonder what all songs they considered. I mean, they must have run through the gamut of singles, at least.
Yeah. I'm disappointed they didn't call me and just ask me.
Right? I know.
Because I would have said Touch and Go, guys.
They
You
probably
gotta do it.
maybe they tried, but they couldn't get through.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm sure they tried. I'm sure they did.
But yeah, this song, when it came out on radio, and you said it charted up to 37, which is top 40.
Yeah.
So it got there. But this song screams early 80s to me.
Yeah.
That summer feel, or end of summer feel, and I think this is the kind of song that a lot of people, whether they're hardcore Cars fans or not, could get into this song.
Yeah, it's a good one. I do remember it playing on the radio a lot. I was surprised to find out that it only hit 37. But I think that's kind of a Cars phenomenon, where they get so much radio airplay because their songs are so amazing, but they just don't end up positioning that high. I'm always surprised that they never had a number one.
Yeah, especially with Drive.
Yeah, a lot of those songs off the Heartbeat City album, I'm surprised they never got up that high.
I think it has a lot to do with who else was on the charts at the time.
Well, yeah.
So.
Whatevs.
So and going from Touch and Go. Now this is me, um, teenage Davy, driving down the street,
Okay.
listening to this album on cassette. Didn't listen to it on the LP. I was, I was on the go, and getting up to the next song, "Give Me Some Slack." When this song started up, this is the song that I thought back to that Rolling Stone interview and thought, you can suck it.
That's right.
This album kicks ass. What are you talking about? It was this song.
Yeah.
And, we also know that our podcast friend Dave Juskow has been using "Give Me Some Slack" for quite a few episodes now as his intro music, which just thrills me every time I listen to his podcast. It's like, yeah, it got me some cars going on.
So cool. So cool. I tell you, this is one of my favorite running songs. I mean, this song makes me so hyper. It's so good.
I need to start using "Give Me Some Slack" in just my regular talk every day.
You need to
when the wife says, "Hey, honey, the garbage needs to be taken out. Hey, give me some slack."
Okay, you try that, Dave. Report back. I want to know how that works for you.
I'll get the shit smacked out of me probably.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this song is so great. Okay, so you know how I like to do this kind of thing. You start with a Panorama. It's right out of the gate. It's snarky. It's in your face. It's got attitude. Things kind of slow down a little bit with Touch and Go, even though it's such a powerful song still. And then this is like letting the horses out at a horse race, opening the gate and just boom, they just take off with this song. I love it.
Was this song released as a single?
It was, yes. It was the third single. And it didn't chart. I mean, I just can't. And I don't remember ever hearing this song on the radio. I didn't discover this song until because of course I knew Touch and Go. And then as I listened through the whole album, this was such a happy surprise of like, wow, it just grabbed me. And this one to me is less electronic than like Panorama. Panorama is very electronic. This one seems to go back to the, kind of the rock and guitar. Oh, the guitar in this is so great.
I always wondered with the mention of rooftops strung with four lines.
Yeah.
If this isn't some kind of song that Rick wrote in response to them not being well regarded in their live performances in Germany.
In Europe.
Yeah, in Europe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Love it. The lyrics, yeah. This is so fun to sing. The lyrics are super fun. And his vocal, I love his vocal in this. I love it. I love his, "That's right." And "Give it to me."
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Give it to me.
Fellini friends. What the hell does that mean, Rick?
Fellini fiends.
Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Fellini fiends.
Is it? Yeah, I actually looked that up. Isn't Fellini? Well, I didn't look. Fellini's was an Italian filmmaker.
Was he German?
Well, he was Italian.
Oh, because you just said he was Italian.
But thanks for clarifying.
God, I am off today.
Aw, did you have migraine again?
No,
this is just.
It's no wonder
no
I have the
excuse.
motivation to dance today. What album are we doing? Panorama?
You're in that dreamlike state you were talking about.
Are we recording right now?
I'm afraid so. Sorry, people.
Who the hell are you?
Oh. Anyway, this song, I think this was probably the poppiest song on this non-poppy album, the "Give Me Some Slack." And there's no guitar solo in it and throughout the middle, but there's Elliot with that
Yeah.
outro talent again, right? That
Hmm.
siren guitar at the end, which is so awesome.
Yes.
And you can't help but think of them on, was it on, not on Fridays? What show were they on? Uh,
They did this on Fridays. They did Shooby Doo, then they went into Gimme Some Slack.
was that on Fridays? I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
that's where the Spasticocastic came from.
which, yes, I love that footage. I just couldn't remember which show it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, just amazing footage. And during the song, just Elliot screaming on that guitar at
Yeah.
the end, and yeah, so great. And all of them were, you just feel the energy on the stage during that one. Dave's just killing it on the drums. It's awesome, awesome.
And and you know what's weird about being an older guy? Well, hell, all of us are old in the Panorama anymore, but you know, a lot of us
Except
have
for
those.
wait, except for Roseanne.
Roseanne,
Yeah,
who's 8,
that's
um,
right.
it's the fact that when we talk about these performances on TV, like that, them being on Fridays, I mean, realize that I watched that I can't remember if that show was live or not. I guess it was live. Watched that, when it came on that night. It was like a deal. Oh, the Cars are going to be on. We got to watch.
Nice,
With my
nice.
friends and stuff, and going back and being able to see that, it's very cool.
Yeah. Well, I just, I always just envy that you experienced all this stuff in real time because, like, I've confessed before that when I was in eighth grade, I had this huge Michael Jackson obsession, and I know with my sequined glove, but I can totally remember experiencing, the Grammys and the first moonwalk and all of this stuff, and I've told my kids about it, like, oh gosh, when this came out, it was amazing. And when that came out, it was just, and so I just think it's cool that you got to do all of that with the Cars, that you
Yeah.
experienced it all as it happened. It's very cool.
Well, to digress a little bit more, I remember when Beat It came out,
Yeah.
all the metalheads I worked with in that hospital cafeteria were
Yes.
pissed off as hell that Eddie Van Halen was playing on that.
I love it.
They were pissed off.
Oh yeah. Yep. Eddie Van Halen knew which way the wind blew, let me tell you. He's no fool.
Yeah, exactly.
And then of course Slash later played with Michael Jackson. I bet they were.
Slash, stop, slash,
Oh,
slash, stop,
that stop.
slash,
That makes me cringe with embarrassment. Ugh.
slash.
Early 80s or late 70s, early 80s Michael is awesome.
Yeah.
Beyond that, just I stop. So okay.
All right, so let's go to track number 4. My wife's favorite song on this album. It's My Party.
That's what she says. It's my party.
It's My Party. I know that song. It's My Party.
It's my party. You can come.
Man, how about that? How about the intro of this song? Wow. Boom. Love it.
I love it. And Ben's vocal is just he's such a he's such a smart aleck.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's just an absolute smart aleck. He can get that snarky kind of I don't know how to describe it, where you would just laugh and swat him if he talked to you like that.
I think to the Cars Unlocked footage where they're doing the sound check,
Yes.
they're playing this and just doing the chorus.
Yes.
Very cool.
It's so cool. He's standing there in his jeans and his tennis shoes.
Yeah. The thing
drum.
about this song is the drum I automatically recognized as that synth drum used in Good Times Roll
Nice.
from the debut,
Nice.
bringing that back. And I think a lot of people assumed at the time that those drum sounds were coming from Greg. And, no, it being, I think David Robinson even said that there's a lot of things that people assumed were something that Greg did, but no, it was something percussion-wise that he was using, some kind of new technology or whatever at the time that they were just messing around with.
Yes. I do remember him saying that too.
Yeah. The thing I like in this song is when Benjamin sings "It's My Ambition"
Hmm.
and he has that little chuckle.
Yes, it's my joke.
Yeah. So I always envision like Roy Thomas Baker, like, pressing his boob up against the control room window. Maybe that made Ben chuckle, or like Rick's put two straws up his nose, you know. May-
Oh my gosh. Talk
Maybe,
about a surprise visual bomb you just
yeah.
gave me.
Maybe Greg put on glasses with a big nose and the fake mustache, and he's like,
Right,
"Hey,
the
I'm back on the
Groucho.
debut album, guys. Look at me."
Oh.
Robinson's playing drums with two trout. It's like, what are you guys doing? Okay, we'll keep that in, baby. It sounds good.
Yeah,
It goes with lyrics.
I love it. I love it. um, yeah, I think the song is great. He has so much great attitude, and he's not, Candio aside. One thing I noticed about Ben is he's not a very natural ad-libber. Like,
So you don't think the chuckle is ad libbed?
oh, I do. No, I mean like at the end when it's just the repetitive, don't tell me no, don't tell me no, don't tell me no. He doesn't really add a lot of variety, or I mean I think he says one or two little like, yeah, I don't know.
Hey,
He just
you got the
I
hey.
I do love the hey. Yeah, hey. I don't know. There's just other vocalists, I guess, or artists that do a lot of ad-libbing. He doesn't do a ton. He doesn't really do a lot of. He just kind of sticks with. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Never mind.
Good song though. Good dark song.
Yes, very, very good. I one of the things I noticed about a lot of these songs on this album compared to the debut in Candio is that on those other albums they had a lot of songs that were talking more about or focusing more on women and the women's personalities or the women's behavior,
Hmm.
where these songs are more I, me,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that definitely coming from that place on this
Yeah.
album.
You
Yeah.
are correct, Donna.
Well, thanks. um, yeah, that might be why, they got contributed to it having such a cold, dark feel to it. It's a very self-centered album in that
Yeah.
sense. But I love it.
Well, on the next song, on track 5,
Yes.
Getting Through.
Yes.
That was the song that I would skip early on. I mean, I like it. Um, I enjoy it, but it's still, and looking back now,
Hmm.
I think that song probably should have been replaced with "Don't Go to Pieces." And I know people have said "Don't Go to Pieces" is too lively to
Oh,
be in this album, but
no.
it's definitely a better song than "Getting Through."
Agreed. Very much agree with you on that. You are correct, Dave.
Thanks. I kind of miss the days of me playing the "Let's Go" whenever we agree.
I know. We agree. You're
Let's go.
so chipper about it. Yes, I totally agree with you. Getting Through is probably, although I love it, and there are a lot of great things about it, it's probably the weakest song on the album to me.
Yeah.
And Don't Go to Pieces definitely should have been on here.
Yeah. I
For
mean, I
sure.
love the lyrics.
Love. Okay.
Gotta love a song with the word erections in it.
Well, yeah. I always have to turn that down in the car. Um,
Are you serious?
no, not my kids are old enough now, um, but oh well, yeah, Ken would be very unhappy if he knew that I played the song around the kids.
That had the word erections in it.
Yes, yes. Okay, but here I was going to tell you when he says the lyrics actually say circus mouth, like your
Yeah.
MOUTH, but in Turbocharge, do you remember when Elliot is doing his stand-up routine and he says, yeah, he actually has a circus mouse that he keeps in his pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
That's right.
said circus mouse, but it's a mouse. Love it. Um, I love Rick's vocals in this one again. That's another thing. This album really is suited for Rick's singing style.
Yeah.
He really just brings it on this album. And the electronics, the synth
Yes.
is over the top in this.
That's the part that I like.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I know at the time when I was listening to this and first run through, my first thought was, oh, you're trying too hard, guys. You know, slow it down a little bit with all the bells and whistles and so forth. But now I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
As you know, them putting little noises in and so forth.
Well, and now that we know, I mean, as you've come to know Greg all through your fandom, and me too, I'm not saying like just because we interviewed him, but just in general, as the more we've known and loved Greg, the more we just say that is so Greg.
Yeah.
To experiment with all those sounds and incorporate them in such a great way, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, who'd have thought you could put whoop, 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 whoop,
yeah.
into a song?
The video game noises before there were video games.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, it's awesome. And of course, Rick's little scream toward the end there. Love that. Just again, the energy. You just feel like they were having such a blast in the studio. That, you know, even though maybe they were being snarky, that they were loving it. They had a great time.
Maybe Rick was in pain when he's screaming that. I can throw.
Maybe.
That was the old hot foot gag that Elliot Easton did on him. They're all pranking each other.
Oh, those guys. They were a very funny band.
They were. So now we're to side 2.
Yes.
Turning the cassette over, turning the album over. Dang, my album's still in really good condition. I have to thank my brother for that. He was one of those guys that, one, if you didn't clean the album first before putting it on, holy shit, he'd be all over you. So, you know, since we shared a turntable and so forth, really still in good condition. So Misfit Kid.
Yes.
This was a song that I readily identified with as a 17-year-old high school kid.
Okay.
And how it, kind of the feeling that I got from it, that this song was my, you know, I was like into the high school party scene. And, you know, because shit, I'd go to any party and I was, you know, politely and sometimes not so politely asked to leave. I mean, you got your class, you got your cliques, that are what's going on. And I didn't directly identify with any of it. I mean, I hung around with anybody, you know, in high school. And I just went to them all. And sometimes you get there and you realize you're not fitting into this party.
That makes me so sad.
It is what it is. I don't feel sad about it at all.
That's sadder to me than Orangey Sky Davy.
But that's what this song kind of represented to me. Was that this is all just kind of smoke and mirrors, and you know, you people are kind of full of shit or whatever. But yeah, I have some good memories of being kicked out of parties.
Oh, Dave.
I do. I remember there was a kid, his name was Ryan something, and just a little short, preppy asshole. But his best friend was one of the top rated wrestlers in the state.
Okay.
And he had a party, and so there was, you know, it was the prep crowd or whatever, and me and my buddies went to this party, and I'm in this party, and the weird thing is there was a cheerleader girl. And I can remember standing there holding my beer, and I look over and she's standing over by herself and she's giving me that smile. Okay. Which totally freaked me out.
Panic.
Oh man, whatever. But anyway, so he comes up, literally comes up, this little, short dweeby guy, and tells us, you guys need to leave. You aren't invited to this party. And it's like, we're like, screw you, you little munchkin. Well, then who shows up behind him? Yeah, Mr. All-State Wrestler.
Of
Okay,
course.
we're going.
Yeah.
Because the only thing more embarrassing of being kicked out of a party is getting your ass kicked and being kicked out of a party.
Yes.
So we left, and
Aw.
and that's the way that went.
Poor
But
Davy.
as I recall, I ended up. I'm not trying to get like this isn't one of those bragging things or whatever. It's just a good memory. But I ended up like being outside the party, and there was some other like preppy chick or whatever that I never would associate with, and I ended up like making out with her.
Oh,
and
Dave.
and her friend saw or whatever. Well, that following Monday, I was like one of those office assistant kids, they're taking notes and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I go in to this classroom to deliver a note, and I have to wait for a response from the teacher. And the girl that I made out with was in the class. And of course, all her friends know that she made out with me at this party. And her name was Anne. And so while the teacher's reading the note and writing down her response, all her friends in the class are going, "Hey, Anne, hey, Anne, look up there, Anne." And they're doing it very obviously. And I know what they're doing. She knows what they're doing. And the teacher's going, "What is the matter with you people?
Quiet down, kids.
Sit quietly." Yeah. And I was just like, get me the fuck out of here. But and it's funny because like later, like post high school or whatever, I maybe through Facebook or some other form of social media, I connected up with her, and things were cool,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. It's just like, yeah, that was really embarrassing and blah blah blah.
High school.
Yeah, high school. Yeah, so Misfit Kid, great song.
Love this song so much. I think this is like one of the few songs where you feel like Rick is a little vulnerable in his writing.
Yeah, and he's basically talking about that party scene that he doesn't want to be any part of.
Right, right.
He's got to do it for the band's sake and so forth, and
Yeah.
I know there was different lyrics on this from "I'm the American Misfit Kid." I know there was a different lyric to this at some point.
Really?
I just can't remember what it was. Yeah.
Huh. Like in a live version or something, or?
I can't remember. I just know there was something different.
Mm.
Either that or it was a dream.
I think the line in this song that breaks my heart, actually, if there's ever any lines in a Cars song that would break my heart, which there are, it would be when he says, "Still wondering what I did." He says, "I'm the American Misfit Kid, still wondering what I did." Like as a mom of boys, raising kids and stuff, you always kind of worry about this parental scar that 99% of the population has some sort of parental scar from growing up, and I just never want my kids to feel that way. Like, I don't know, I'm a misfit and I don't know how I got to be a misfit. I don't know what I did. You know what I mean? Just that, I don't know. It's a weird mom thing, but that.
Well, I didn't ever read it that way. I just read it as, him being different, being anti-establishment and, having to go to these parties and doing these things that he really doesn't want any part of. You've got a guy who has been in running in certain circles where, your basic average Joe bureaucrat or whatever, he wants no part of. And then being in this band and going through all the music business, he has to interact and mingle with these assholes, Hey, Rick, baby, I love you, blah, 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 da, da, da. And, that's the way I always took it. It wasn't like that he was feeling pushed out. It's that he was like, what have I done to get here being in this group of people that I really don't want to be with? That was my take on it anyway.
Yeah, see, and I guess I think more of was thinking of it more of a lifelong feeling of being a misfit. of not, like, because in his growing up, I mean, he's talked about feeling like he never really fit in. And then, yes, you're right. I mean, he gets to this adult phase and he's achieved this success and this dream, but he's still not, this isn't the group for him either, in a sense. You know what I mean? This isn't his fit either. And just not the whole, I'm just wondering the line of, still wondering what I did is just like not sure his whole life. Like, why am I not, I look at all these other people. How come I am not like them? I don't know. I mean, I think he's happy not being like them. I definitely don't feel like he's insecure in that sense. Or, you know what I mean? He seems very comfortable in his own skin. He's not wishing to change who he is, but at certain stages of his life, there's had to have been some confusion internally of how come I'm not like all these people?
Well, he's talked a lot about, his high school experiences and, growing up and being different. And I think there's a quote in The Frozen Fire about him getting his ass kicked for having a blonde streak in his hair.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Once we came across, Rick Ocasek basketball team, Rick Ocasek track team, kind of things in his high school experience, I'm not so sure that all those stories aren't embellished a little bit for the image of the band, kind of going along with it with the age change too. I mean, how much of a misfit can you be if you're doing the sports thing?
Well, I think you can be. I mean, I think you can still be an outsider. You're supposed to try to get involved. You got your parents are this. You need to go out for sports. You need to find a hobby. I think that I would buy it. I buy it. That he could be standing there in that picture going, I hate all these jerks, and I just can't believe I have to be on this stupid basketball team because I'm 6 feet tall, and you know what I mean? And I'm going to go home and write some poetry about it. As soon as I get out of here, I'm going down to the basement and I'm getting on my shortwave radio and I'm going to go on a rant.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I buy it. I buy it. And it makes me, and I want to buy it. I'm staying with my story because it gives me a soft spot for Rick, for sure.
Yeah.
It makes me just want to give him a little squeeze, and say, it's all right, buddy. It's all
right. If I wanted to spend some time, I would go back into newspaper archives and look at basketball scores for games that he played in and to see how many points he scored or if he played at all, those kinds of things.
Yeah, if he was the star or if he was because maybe he was like so knock-kneed and awkward that they're just like, just stay there, Richard. We'll call you if we need you.
There's some research for Joe. Joe's a sports guy. Do it, Joe.
Yeah, there you go.
Get in there and research Rick Ocasek's high school basketball career.
Sports career.
Yeah, that's what I want.
All right. So we get done with Misfit Kid. Oh, wait. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
I'm just saying. And then with a little ting of a triangle, I'm guessing it's triangle, it is the Benjamin Orr trifecta.
Woo!
Aren't you impressed I remember that?
I am actually, especially today.
Let me tell you. And starting out with Down Boys, holy shit, I love this song.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to try not to get so hyper. I'm very hyper. I'm going to try to contain myself, okay, Dave? Because you know, favorite album, favorite person, Benjamin Orr, vocalist, 3 songs in a row.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
All right.
You remember when I told you should just say to the neighbors randomly, hey, you can't make it with the Down Boys. And then just walk away.
Yes. In fact, you offered me $20.
Did I?
To do that. Yes. But and you were like, it can't be one of your kids. You have to go up to a random person.
Can't be one of your kids. All right. So go ahead, start it. So, ting, and it's going to go.
Play. Oh my gosh.
And of course I listened to the shit out of this album the past week.
Yes.
And I found myself on this song, I really follow Greg's keys a lot.
Yes.
You know, usually I might be doing the air guitar and the steering wheel. This one, I'm doing air keyboards on top of the steering wheel.
You know, they're so unexpected for the tone of this song.
Yeah.
They have sort of that, you know, that wavy, almost like the Munsters kind of
Yeah.
feel to them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which doesn't seem to fit with this like bad boy yardy kind of tune, but it does. It's so perfect.
I'm
Oh,
just taking it all
I
in.
know, me too, because I cannot resist it. And bass is awesome. The guitar rocks. You know, this is my favorite guitar solo, in spite of Touch and Go and, you know, all the other great solos Elliot's done. This guitar solo is it. Ah, his whole attitude. Ah!
Yeah. I think my favorite part of this song is when Greg gets the keys and he's doing the da 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 da
Mm-hmm.
with the keys.
Yes.
I don't know what they call that. I'm sure there's a term for that.
I know. I never know the terms.
Ben kind of has a vocal cracking there. Down, boys.
Heck yeah! He's in your face, man. You hear that punch?
He's all over it.
That's right. That was my. Oh,
Yeah.
that guitar solo.
This would have made a great song, like a wrestler's entrance song. Why didn't they ever use it?
Because no,
Yo, Mean Gene, we're the Down Boys.
no, don't associate this song with wrestling. Come on,
Would have been great.
no. But remember that? I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the person. Was it Donna that suggested in our Midnight Scroll that this album could have been with West Side Story? I mean, this is a perfect gang fight
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, you know?
This right here, the keys part here. I dig it.
I don't think I've ever focused on that part before. This part,
And then
those keys right there.
He's continuing with that and then going back into that synth lead.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Oh, this song rocks. This song should have been a single too.
Yes.
I mean,
Was it a B-side?
I don't know. I don't. Yes. Yes, it is a B-side. What am I thinking? It was the B-side to Touch and Go. Joe just sent me this 45, and I even forgot that it was the B because all I wanted was Down Boys, and Touch and Go was on the other side.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So it
was
was the B-side.
Yes. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah. And as a 17-year-old kid and as a 54-year-old man, that ending explosion
Yes.
still kicks ass
Yes.
and going right into
Here we go.
crickets.
Yes. And then, yep, that swaying.
You wear those
Ah.
eyes.
Love it. Okay.
Which is time for me to bring up the stupid Tumblr post about someone writing about the. Yeah, I'm bringing it up. The stupid Tumblr post about.
We're having
this
weird
being-
audio difficulties.
I'm gonna say it, Donna. This because I want to bring out stupid when stupid is there. This stupid Tumblr post about you wear those eyes being about Rick being attracted to Benjamin and vice versa, like their little love song. It's like, give me a fucking break.
Yes, thank you. That is,
God, that's so stupid.
it's so infuriating.
Hey, I've got this idea. Why don't I write a song about, us being, and we'll put it on the album.
Wow.
We'll leave it to the fans to figure it out.
No one will know. It'll be our secret song.
Our little secret, because you wear those eyes that never blink. And I'm sure, Benjamin said that to Rick all the time.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And of course, they both have the name that no one can pronounce. So, they were like giving each other the, like the little finger gun, like wink.
Get the name.
Oh, I can't even. I hope I never meet the person who came up with that idea because I'd probably sock him in the stomach.
You don't need to. The thing I love about this song is the dual vocals.
Yes.
And the best being when Benjamin sings "You Fall in Love" and Rick has that, "You Fall." Oh man, it just
yes.
it I just can't even put it into words.
It's perfect. Now, let me quote Dante on this, okay? I wrote an article about Dante Tomaselli for my blog. I don't know if you guys know I have a blog, but I do. And Dante, of course, heavily influenced by the Cars and this album in particular, and this even more, this song. So here's what he told me for my article. He said, when I first heard it, I was shocked. You Wear Those Eyes didn't sound like a normal song in any way. I couldn't believe that beat. The electronic crashing sound kept repeating itself over and over. It never stopped. I thought it was very bleak and cold, yet there was an underlying warmth in Ben Orr's rich vocal bass sounds and deep hypnotic voice. I enjoyed Elliot Easton's churning, flickering guitar, the hallucinogenic lyrics. Greg Hawk's 3D-like electronic soundscapes trapped me in a synth pop dungeon.
Wow.
Yes, Dante wrote that. Dante wrote me that quote. Isn't that amazing and perfect?
Dante, you should be a writer.
And with the synth pop dungeon, he should really maybe think about doing like horror movies.
I think he should do a video of a car song.
Hey, there's an idea.
Yeah.
Let's start that cycle again.
I haven't forgotten that swag, my friend.
Yeah, oh, that will never go away.
You got some swag. We want our video.
Yeah. No, I thought that was perfect. And that song, yes, of course, number 2 in the trifecta. So, and just a total change of pace, going from Down Boys, the explosiveness of Down Boys, to that hypnotic is just the perfect word for that song. Just brings it way down. Lower the lights, it's just all very moody and delicious.
And this thought just popped into my head that in the fact that I did that event or whatever at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Agora album, and being in the same room with a lot of people, listening to songs. How awesome would it be, Donna, if we had like me and you and let's say Kurt and Jenny all in a car, like on a road trip, just listening to the Cars the whole way.
Oh my gosh. Could you
how
imagine?
awesome would that be? I mean, we bop around in our own cars, listening to these songs and doing the things that we do when we listen to it. How cool would it be?
Oh yeah.
To have people that are into this band as much as we are all together, just listening to an album that we've listened to God knows how many times, but just picking out those things.
I know. That'd be so cool. Well, and you know what? Isn't that like what kids used to do? Go in their bedroom, mom's give them some snacks, put their album on, pass around the album cover, and just talk about it, lift the needle, start it over, drop it back in the middle, do that again. I mean, just lay it on the floor on the bed listening to the music. No screen.
Yep.
Awesome.
So we need to do that. Jenny, Kurt, if you're listening, we're going to be taking a road trip. Let me see. Jenny, well, okay, she's west. God, it's got to start with. Well, it's going to start with Kurt. Kurt, you're going to have to drive south, pick me up. Okay, so it's going to be me and you, buddy, for God knows how many thousands of miles. Boom, we pick up Jenny, then we head up north, pick up Donna, and then we're just going to have to go like into Mexico or something.
Wait, I don't want to be last. Don't
You're
get
the
me last.
You're the farthest west. Okay, do you want to start?
I'll start.
Okay, you start. You run down. You pick up Jenny.
Okay.
Third, and then Kurt is last.
Okay. No offense,
Fine.
Kurt. No offense, Kurt.
Fine. Punish the dairy state.
Hey, I just don't want to be last. I don't like to be left out.
Okay.
You guys would have hours and hours of conversation. By the time I got in the car, you guys would be like, no, we've already listened to Panorama 4 times, Donna. We're not listening to it again for you. And I would cry, and it would just be all terrible. We'd get to the border. They would think I was being kidnapped because I'm back there bawling, and you guys are like, just ignore her.
Yeah.
It would turn into a big mess. So yes, I need to start the trip with my little Honda, with my little Music Man Stingray bass keychain, and head on down.
Yeah. There we go. I'm sure all of our spouses will understand.
Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what would be
right.
better? You know we bet would be better is we need to like all fly to a central location and get in the car at the same time. I can't stand the thought of anybody being left out of all those hours of driving.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
All right. It's
All
a
right.
go.
Anyway.
It's a go. All right. So number 3 in the trifecta, Running to You, has always been my favorite song on this album.
Okay.
And there was a time when I was doing I went through my Ross Geller phase
That's right.
in college, and this was a song that I loved playing the most. And believe it or not, with the minimal training I had on piano, I could play, well, what I thought was good, all of Greg's Keys parts in this, especially that lead. And so
Nice.
when I listen to this song in my car, my hands on top of the steering wheel, and I'm playing that as best as I can remember at this point, and doing that.
Nice. Are you getting it queued up? Oh, that
The
drum.
guitar and the guitar.
Yes. And the bass. Listen to that bass line.
Oh yeah.
And here's that same kind of voice as he says, it's my party. He's just got that pouty attitude, swaggering, overconfident, but he pulls it off perfectly.
I love having a real time taking what's not mine.
Yes.
And I'm doing what I want to do.
The whole song is so self-centered.
Yep.
I love it. Those keys right there.
Yep.
Fluttering.
Very cool.
This song to me is like this ties in with the Panorama flag to me somehow.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. This is the flag song to me. That bass.
And I also feel like this song is about somebody who is maybe out of a relationship or whatever, and it's kind of a self-loathing thing where it's, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm free, whatever, but I'm still, seems like I'm coming back to you.
Yeah.
That was always the gist of it that I got, because I can make this song whatever I want it to be because Rick Ocasek says so.
That's right. You have permission.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I got to do my keyboard. This is where I wish we were doing Skype with video.
So I could see your.
So I could prove it to you. Just finished, and the crowd went wild.
Oh yeah. Applause just for the key solo.
Dave, keyboard hero.
So good. I love when he says maniacal shots.
Yes.
It took me forever to figure out. Well, of course, I don't know. I just hardly ever think of looking at the lyric sheet.
He pronounces it manacle shots.
Manacle shots?
Yeah, didn't you ever notice that?
No.
You gonna make me cue it up?
Yeah. Is it? Let me look at the lyrics. Is it manacle? No.
No, it's maniacal. But he pronounces it manacle shots.
Ben. That might be because, he was bilingual.
Well,
I think he was actually pronouncing a Polish word.
He was. He thought in 2 different languages, and sometimes, he had trouble reading or pronouncing other words.
We're bad.
like Midwest. That one.
Right.
Would always come out funky, some funky Polish word.
Yeah, mashwung.
Yeah. Love how the song ends.
Are you not queuing it up?
No, I can't find that.
All right. I'll have to listen to that part again. Yes, I love how that song ends. And then bang.
Up and Down. Now, Up and Down is another song, Donna, that in my earlier listenings to this, I would skip. I didn't care for it. But here's where I made the change. In 1997, when Rick went on a solo tour for Troubleizing,
Yeah.
he put this song in his set, and
Really?
it kicked ass. And it what really kicked ass about it was Melissa I can never pronounce her name, Oftamar, her doing the up and down. I thought that really kicked butt, and that got me back into this. But
Nice.
the other thing that we didn't mention earlier is that this album was not a favorite of mine just because of the mixing,
Right,
which is
right.
kind of funny that Joshua and Turbocharge brings that up too,
Yes.
um, just because it was so muted. But the remaster of this made this, clunk this album up so many notches with me.
Nice.
I love this album so much more now. But yeah, Up and Down wasn't one that I cared for, but now that I listen to it,
Oh.
it's just like it kicks butt.
Oh, it's awesome. I love the Welcome On.
Yeah.
The way those background vocals mix and sound. Oh, I love it. And again, another song where Rick's vocals perfect for this song. Perfect. The guitar solo, tight, very short, perfect. And you got those keys in there again, mixing together. And he does that little vocal. Rick does that little vocal thing again when he says, "I'll tell you when I've had enough."
Yes.
Love it. Yeah, listen to that. It just like grabs you. Oh, love.
Crack Shot Shooter.
Nice. Yes.
I have to give a shout out to, and I'm not even sure where he's at now, Christopher Conville
Okay.
from the old Frozen Fire days. He put out the fanzine, and
Right.
one time's called Crack Shot Shooter, or he used Crack Shot Shooter as his name or something. I can't remember, but this
cool.
was his line, his song.
Very, very cool. The lyrics of the song are so great. And of course, they always make me think of Ben. I mean, like the attraction I have for Ben, these words are like, ah, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Under the Cold and Darkly Sky.
Yes. Didn't that show up somewhere else too?
Oh yeah, and in Rick's solo stuff, it shows up.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the songs. There's like 3 songs.
Yeah.
You don't have to reek with charm. What a great line.
Yes. Yes. Seeing that nice, just that.
Still, a great.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Great song to end the album with, though. Now I realize that now. I used to skip this song, but awesome song to end the album with.
Yes. And I just love how this song has the very powerful, heavy guitar, drums, and then it has that softer bridge kind of thing where Greg's synths take over a little bit, and it's just a nice combination of those two.
You don't have to be so tough, Donna.
I know. I'll tell you when I've had enough, Dave.
When you've had enough.
That's right. When I've had enough. Oh yeah, I love it. And of course, it always
Go ahead.
makes me think of the footage with Ben chewing his gum while he's singing "Well, Come On," and you can see his gum rolling around in his mouth.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you had to pick one song off this album to be your intro song for, say if you're a baseball player or something like that, intro song into anything, what would you pick?
Oh, probably, let's see. Okay, you know how good I'm at making decisions on the fly like this. Probably Give Me Some Slack.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
And then now Just Cow Beat Us to It.
Yes, yes.
That's his song.
Darn you, Just Cow.
What are we going to do? Start our Night Thoughts podcast with Give Me Some Slack now? No, can't do it.
Nope.
Dave beat us to it.
Yep. It's like we have to like fall to our knees like Kevin Cash and say, Just go.
Ah, that ending.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's perfect.
You know, the best part of this podcast, Donna, is that
What?
you and I just listened
To the entire
Panorama together.
Awesome.
Let's hope YouTube didn't get all over our ass for that.
I know. I'm
But
hoping
that's why we have iTunes and SoundCloud.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We may end up having this episode only available on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Yeah, we'll
because
see.
there've been like a bunch of strikes because we played the entire freaking album during the podcast.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully our talking over it made it so that they
Type. Dear YouTube. No, that was my neighbor next door as I was podcasting.
Yeah.
I'm
Wasn't
sorry.
my fault. It was residual noise.
Use some of that Sunshine and Rainbow.
Yeah, let's try to sweet talk my way out of it. Yeah, perfect. This is a great album. And the remember how I felt like Candy O? I wasn't entirely convinced that Dangerous Type should have ended that album, but this one has the perfect bookend songs.
Yeah.
Both of them are just punches right out of the gate. So you start with a bang and you end with a bang, and I'm sure people were just like, okay, where are they going to go from here? Because like we said, they took that left turn. So as we'll find out, of course,
I'll tell you where they're going to go. Catchy tunes and sexy album covers. If not, I'll drop you like a hot potato. Hey,
Love
folks,
that movie.
go to the Turbocharged Facebook page. That scene is on there. I put it on there specifically.
It's so much funnier than Dave and I could ever do.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Do you have a nose for news? What?
What? Are you high?
A little.
A little. A little, yeah.
It's just sitting there on the couch. A little.
H. John Benjamin is on Twitter. Look him up, follow him.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that one down.
I think you know what I think I'll do.
Hmm.
I think I'll do it right now on the air. I'm gonna tweet H. John Benjamin, aka Elliot Roberts, and I'm just gonna put, "Son, are you high?"
Oh.
Here I go.
Are you gonna put it in quotation marks, or are you just gonna say it?
At H. John Benjamin. Okay. I'll put it in quotation marks.
Okay, good.
Here we go.
Cool.
Son, comma, are you high?
Oh, how can you? Are you?
Here we go. All right. Tweeting
Right.
away.
I just went to.
Oh,
follow.
I better hashtag it.
Wait, is this the right H. John
better
Benjamin? Maybe
Yeah.
is there more than one?
It's at HJ Benjamin.
Oh, whoops. I just followed somebody who's at H. John Benjamin.
Hey, so tweet that guy. Son, are you high?
No, his tweets are protected. That's why I was like, is this who's? And so
No.
I just canceled my follow because, it had to be pending.
Okay.
So
All right, so here we go. Here goes to H. John Benjamin.
Okay.
Boom. Let's see if he responds.
There, the official H. John Benjamin.
Maybe he's better than Adam Sandler, and will in fact respond.
Maybe. Oh, he has a book. Failure is an option. This is his book.
I like the way he thinks.
Yeah. He looks like an interesting feller.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you do it with a period in front of it so that it's a public tweet, or did you just do? Okay, so good.
Yeah.
I hope he responds. Oh, good. You hashtag turbocharge, so he's not just completely without context.
Oh, we have so much fun on this podcast.
Oh my gosh. Well, and that movie, people, please. I just got to see how the interest is in it. I want it to be a high interest because it's such a great movie. People, you will laugh your heads off.
Yep.
So funny.
They laugh their heads off. Come on, they'll laugh their asses off, Donna.
You know I can't talk like that on this podcast.
You know what that's like? Remember when Smokey and the Bandit came out on, and they just put it like on like the ABC Saturday night movie,
Okay.
and Buford T. Justice says, "I'm going to barbecue your ass in molasses," and on the ABC thing, they got the guy who voiced Fred Flintstone to to overdub, and so it came out as, "I'm going to barbecue your head on my in molasses." That's what that was like.
I don't really remember anything about
Some
that.
some bitch, and then it turned into scum bum. You are the Buford T. Justice of
Oh,
podcasting.
hey, wait. Is that better or worse than Robin Quivers?
Oh, you're both. I'm just saying you censor yourself.
Well, I do. Yeah, yes, I do. All I remember about Smoking the Bandit is when he comes out of the bathroom with toilet paper and whoever points out. I just remember him going, "Thank you, nice lady."
Yeah, I want an El Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. So, do you say to your kids, "Hey, kids, knock it off, or your head's going to be grass and I'm going to be the lawnmower"?
No. Can't say I've never said that.
Do you even understand what I'm referring to? My
Your
dad
head
used to
should
say
be
this to me all the time.
grass.
Your ass is going to be grass and I'm going to be the lawnmower.
Yeah, no, I guess I didn't get that right off.
Must be a regional thing.
Well, I mean, now that you say that, I heard that. I don't think that way, I guess.
How
You
about
know,
shit a brick? They say that up where you're at?
I've heard that phrase, yes,
Well,
yes.
shit a brick.
Yep.
Dry as a popcorn fart.
No, I haven't heard that.
Haven't heard that one?
What else you got for me, Dave?
Uh, so many.
So many. No, I just, I grew up not in a good environment, and I think I've kind of gone extreme the other direction in how I talk with my
Gotcha.
kids.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure I would just make people roll their eyes and be, just want to punch me because they think I'm too, I don't know, nicey or whatever. I don't know. I can't think of the right term, but I try to be really careful of the words I use with my kids.
Oh, I'm totally with you. I mean,
Well, I mean, even probably more than a lot of people just because I grew up with the opposite. So I went, like I said, went kind of extreme. And so I, for the longest time, and I still just don't like it, but even like shut up we just don't say that in our house. I just
yes.
think it's so disrespectful. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, there's just, I'm a little over the top.
Well, and that's the thing about me. I mean, I come off a certain way on this podcast and on social media or whatever, but when it comes to children, I'm a different animal. I take my job very seriously. I take my role as a grandparent very seriously.
Yeah.
And and a lot of the ways that you say that you deal with your kids, I deal with my students. I deal with my grandchildren, and that's I would never say that to any kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I trusted that about you. I mean, I already kind of sensed that because you're a successful and popular teacher. You couldn't get away with that if you acted like
hell no.
If you acted like this in the classroom.
Yeah. But then other people can say, they listen to my mouth. How can that guy be a teacher? Whatever, blah, blah. I'm here to tell you, people, spend 5 minutes in the teacher lounge and you'll hear the word fuck many times.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's not what you perceive. But, people know, when to let things out and when to not let things out. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, do we have some midnight scroll?
Ooh, we do.
I do believe we have some midnight scroll. A few emails, and
yes.
I'll let you start. I'll let you get a couple emails in, and then I will do my email.
Okay, before we do that, one last thing on the panorama. We kind of went off on our little rabbit trail there. But I did want to address Don't Go to Pieces because it was a B-side. It was awesome. It is awesome. And it fits in so perfectly. But did you know that Greg had a writing credit on that song?
No, I did not.
I didn't either until just I was researching it for this. It escaped me until now.
Wow.
So that's 5 songs, 5 Cars songs that he has writing credit on, not 4 like we have said before. So
Yeah. And that song escaped me because I wasn't buying 45s at that point in time.
right.
So, that escaped a lot of people. And a lot of people got their first dose of that song on the Rhino Anthology.
Yes.
And I was like, holy shit, this song kicks butt. Why wasn't it on the album?
It's terrific.
If anything, it could have been an 11th song.
Yeah, why not number 11? I totally agree. And it should have been released as a single. It is so good. It's so good. Oh, yes. One of these times we'll have to do an episode that's just B-sides and single, not B-sides and singles, and B-sides and demos. So, I think that's on my list. Songs that didn't make it to vinyl. Like Take What You Want and Hotel Queenie and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we need to do an episode just addressing those awesome songs that somehow got pushed off to the side.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Put it on the list. We got lots of things to talk about, people.
We do.
We're 36 episodes in, and we still, how many episodes do you think we could still cover?
I still have
at least
more
another 36.
I was going to say, I still have more than 30 ideas on my, I keep a running list. I cross off and put the dates of the ones that we've done, and I just keep adding to it. And yeah, I still have over 30 ideas that we have, viable ideas.
If we could make it to 100, that would be awesome.
I would freak. That would be so awesome.
I think we can do it, though. Who knows?
Well, I'm just so pleased at how much gabbing we've been able to do about this band.
Yeah.
You deserve it. So, okay, we ready for Midnight Scroll?
Go for it.
Take me apart 'cause I'm out of control. Send me a letter on the Midnight Scroll.
Our first letter is from our listener, Donna, not me.
Is this real?
And she says, oh, sorry, that wasn't the proper Robin Quivers response. Here we go. Oh, Dave. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay. Hi, Donna and Dave. And literally, I'm not lying. She put Donna first. Did you hear that?
Sure she did.
She did.
Sure she did.
Hi, Donna and Dave. Just watched your turbocharged episode. Please put me on your petition of people who want to pay money to get this movie. Love the satire stuff. Just from your description and the graphics on your podcast screen with the old Rankin Bass style characters, who wouldn't love these? I know I want to watch it. Thank you for sharing this because it's yet another thing I didn't know anything about. Peace, Donna. Nice.
Very nice.
Are you
glad to hear some support for Turbocharge?
Absolutely. You got quiet there. I thought maybe you were stewing over the fact that she said my name first.
I was listening.
Okay.
I'm trying to be a better listener, Donna.
Oh, that's nice.
I can only get called out so many times.
Oh, poor Dave. You just get so abused on this show. I'm amazed you keep coming back.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, you want me to read the second one?
Yeah.
All right, now you're first this time. Hi, Dave and Donna. What are you two trying to do to us Cars fans? You're giving us snippets of this movie Supercharged, she said, but of course she means turbocharged.
Oh, another turbocharge, awesome.
Yes, and now of course we want to see it. We'll be going nuts until we do. It sounds hilarious. When you played the clip with Rick and Maxanne deciding on the new name for Captain Swing, I thought Rick's voice sounded so English and not American. In fact, it sounded just like Prince Charles does from the Spitting Image show from the 80s. Go to a clip and you'll find it so similar. Remember in the last Cars interview where Rick says they got mistaken for an English band all the time? Maybe in a subtle way, David was trying to get that across with Rick's voice. Just something I noticed. What do you both think? Can't wait for it to become available. Your English Cars fan, Liz. Kiss, kiss. It's Liz from across, not across the pond. What did she want us to say? I can't remember now. It's Liz.
Not across the
water?
Yeah, it definitely was not across the pond.
Yeah, she didn't like that part. Anyway, thank you, Liz, for writing in. Yes, more support for Turbocharge.
I'm digging that.
Me too. Oh, I want people to get
That's
excited
really
about
cool. Good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
it. Awesome.
All right.
Those are my two.
So number 3, we've got an email from our old pal Rico.
Hey, we haven't heard from Rico for a while.
It's been a few episodes.
Yes.
We don't know what happened to El Glenn. He may have succumbed to some kind of infection on his third nipple. I have no idea what happened to El Glenn.
Surely he didn't pass away. I wonder if he's in jail after his attempts to get into the induction ceremony. I think that's
He
the
may
last we
have.
heard of him, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. So here we go with Rico. Oh, I have no throat drops.
Oh boy.
Oh, this could be bad.
Yeah, this will knock
All
you out
right.
for the rest of the day.
That could be. All right. So here we go from Rico. Greetings to you, my podcast friends. Hey, it's me, your old pal Rico. So I was looking around on the eBay and I saw that their artistic interpolation of Benjamin Orr. Now hold up there, sweet purple prune. I know what you're
True.
thinking. Yeah, Rico. That's
Rico.
sweet purple June. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking your old pal Rico is going to bust some chops over this one.
Yes.
Wrong. Fucking wrong. As a matter of fact, my friends, this wonderific piece of art inspired me to write a poem. Hey, I ain't done that since I expressed my love for Gina Della Vici in the 3rd grade.
Oh boy.
I still remember that one. It went something like, roses is red, violets is blue. You think I'm a moron, but I think I loves you. Anyways, I wrote this poem to express my deep inner feelings for what is the eBay Benjamin Orr masterpiece, still sitting there with 0 fucking bids. Unbelievable. So here goes.
Okay.
A fucking painting of Benjamin Orr by your old pal Rico. An angelical painting of Benjamin Orr. What the hell they do that for? Blue flowing gown, brunettified hair, like he's in a heavenly barber chair. With flecks of gold mixed into paint. Holy shit, is he a saint? Now, all the fans can only hope. They paint Greg as a nun and Rick as Pope. And Elliot playing a harp on a cloud to all dim angels in the crowd. Hey, imagine that. Look who appeared. Dave Robinson's God. He's got a beard. And after that, I'll make a bet. Some fucking moron will buy the set. Then bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. It's the Church of the Cars. Vroom, vroom. Oh, and peace be with you. Your poetic Panorama fucking friend, Rico. Wow, that is really nice, Rico.
Oh my God.
I like that. He has a way with words. He's no Dante Tomaselli, but wow.
David Curry.
I have no words.
I'm trying to stay upright in my chair. Oh my gosh. That poem was hilarious. So I'm trying to separate the two. People can express their fandom however they want, and if that is a heartfelt tribute to Ben, then bless your heart. On the other side, and completely separate from that poem was hilarious.
What? I think Rico's got skills.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my gosh.
He's improved so much from roses is red, violets is blue.
He really has come a long way. He's come a long way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to that again. That was.
I think this poem is about that particular painting, and Rico was inspired to write a poem and to urge the artist, whoever they are, to continue to create, Boom. We want a picture of Greg as a nun. We want Rick as Pope. We want Elliot jamming to a bunch of angels. And we want David Robinson as God. He's got the warmest hands. It makes sense. Right? Yeah.
All right. Thank you for writing in, Rico.
Yeah.
As always.
It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
All right. So I think that just about that does it for episode 36. Donna, you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yes, I do. Come find me on Twitter at Sweet Purple June, where hopefully I will be on one of these days and get to check in with everybody. Follow me on Facebook. I have my own page, Benjamin Orr : Sweet Purple June. You can also read a lot about Benjamin and the Cars on my blog, www.sweetpurplegune.wordpress.com. Come find me.
Yep. And you know what? I don't necessarily want to be found this week. So I'm not going to say anything. You want to find me? Listen to the podcast. You want to find me? Like the Turbocharge page. That's what I want.
Yes, there you go. You can find Dave on the Turbocharge page.
Yeah, I'm around. You can find me.
All right.
What the hell? All right. So that does it. Episode 36. Woo!
It was a great one.
All right. So we will see you in a couple weeks with a brand new topic. And hey, we're out of here.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Hey, greetings to you, my podcast friends. Hey, it's me, your old pal Rico. Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast, is not directly affiliated with the Cars or Rhino Records. So we don't end up swimming with the fishes. Here's how the whole thing goes down. Under Section 107 of the fucking Copyright Act of 1976, we got some fair use rights here. Like busting people's balls over things we don't like. Telling you how shit went down. Teaching you schmoes something new. And digging up dirt about the most fantastical band in the world, the Cars. You know how fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might ought infringe on other fucking rights? Yeah, it's like that. The fact we don't make no money, we record this podcast for personal use, and teach you stuff so you're not a fucking moron, tips the balance of our podcast shenanigans in favor of fair use. So there you have it. Capiche?